All right, stage three. So you made it to the end of week two, term two. Well done. So for maths today, we are moving along with equivalent number sentences, which we touched on yesterday, and I introduced to you guys. And I know that we've seen them a lot before in our Maths Ninja, so it's something that comes up quite a bit. So I've got a couple of equivalent number sentences in front of us here, and it's using the strategy that I spoke about with you guys yesterday. So I can see in the bottom one down here, I want you to have a think, what was the first step yesterday that I said was really important that you need to do when looking at equivalent number sentences? All right, now if you remember, you need to make sure that you need to look for the side, and I know these ones have all the answers filled in, but you need to look at the side and make sure that you have both um, products or numbers there to be able to get your answer, to make sure you know what you need to make both sides equal to. If I look on this side here, I've got 5 and 5, and I write above it, which is my little trick that I've taught my class, and I need to know that this answer needs to equal 10. Okay, and remember what equivalent means. The word equivalent means equal. So each algorithm of either side, so an algorithm, remember, is a math problem with numbers that we need to solve. Each algorithm, either side of this equal sign, needs to have the same answer or product at the end of it. So by the looks of this, our product is going to equal 10. Okay. All right, now if I look over here, 5 plus 5, we know our friends are 10. We know that gives me 10. 7 and 3, that gives me 10. Therefore, maintaining that this algorithm, or both either side, is equivalent. Okay, if I had the number 6 in here and I had 7 and 6, that's going to equal 13. So that would therefore mean this side equals 13, this one would equal 10, and it would not be an equivalent number sentence because they both do not have the same answer either side. Okay, right, I'm going to go on to the next activity, and we're going to practice again the skills that I showed you yesterday, and I'm just going to make sure my pencil is okay. I'm going to use red. Make it a bit bigger. That's a little bit better there. So you might need to do some working out. So by looking at this number sentence, I know I've got my equal sign in the middle because I know that either side of that, the answers of both of these algorithms needs to be the exact same number. It can't be one off, it can't be one up, one down, it needs to be exactly the same. So my first job is to work out what side of this equal sign I have all of my numbers for. What side can I work out first? Okay, looking here, I've got a missing number, so I can't do that. So I'm going to jump over here, and I've got all of my numbers over here. Okay, so this is where you might either be someone who uses a strategy of counting up. You might count up to 10s, the closer you get to 100, and then work out your answer by then. Or I'm going to do what I did yesterday, and I'm going to do an algorithm like this, and I'm going to do 100, and I'm going to do subtract 56. Now you might be able to do it in your head, but I'm doing this to make sure that I'm accurate. Okay, my pen's a bit thick, but it's okay. All right, so I always look at the top number of the column over here, and I'm going to say if I have 0 and I try and minus 6, it's not 6. You need to remember that if there's nothing in this column, I need to go to my next door neighbor. All right, I go to my next door neighbor, there's no one there. So I need to go to my another next door neighbor. So I go over here and I cross this out, and I make that a 10. But I'm still empty over here. I still can't, I need to borrow again. Therefore I cross this out, and I make it now a 9 because I'm borrowing 1 off that to go over here. Now over here this says 10 minus 6. I can actually do that this time because the top number is large enough for me to subtract from. 10 minus 6, that gives me 4 because I know my friends are 10. And now in this column here, you need to remember that you did borrow, so you're looking at this number that you have now. So I've got 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 also gives me 4. Okay. I've crossed my 1 out and I've borrowed from my hundreds column, so I therefore know that this is 0. I don't need to put a 0 down here because I just know that my answer is now going to be 40. So like I said with my little trick, I pop a 44 above this side, and I pop a 44 above that side, just like that. Okay, so now my number sentence says on this side, I've got this side solved, 72 subtract what gives me 44. So this is my missing number. So what I said you could do, you might be a person who likes to count up. So you might like to count up from 44 to work out how many you need to get till you get to 72. Or like me, you might like to do 72, and I'm going to subtract 44, and that's going to be my missing value on my algorithm. Okay, so once again, my top number, it's not 4 minus 2 because I can't subtract from this bottom number. I need to use my top number always and then subtract the bottom from there. So if I have 2, if you hold 2 fingers up, you physically don't have enough to subtract 4. So this is where I need to go and visit my next door neighbor and see who's there. Alright, so I'm borrowing over here and I need to make that a 6, and therefore that makes it a 12 because I'm carrying my tens column over there. 12 subtract 4, that gives me 8. 6 minus 4, that gives me 2. Therefore, I know that this over here now equals 28, and I have found the missing value for my algorithm on that side. Alright guys, I would like you to click over to the next slide, and I'm going to start off a little bit easier and simpler. See how you go with those ones. You can either write it on a bit of paper and take a screenshot and insert it into the slide, or you can complete on the slide with your answer. And then I'm going to do a few trickier extension ones over the next slide once you guys get in the swing of it. So if you need to refer back to the video again on the strategies that I use, please feel free to pause and go back and refresh if you are getting stuck. All right, good luck guys, and be careful with your working out.